everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new DC Comics Multiverse Justice League movie 6-inch Aquaman figure from Mattel. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've been seeing with all the Multiverse figures. Up at the very top, you've got the Justice League movie logo, then you've got the DC Comics Multiverse logo, you've got the black and red highlights on the packaging and the figure's clearly displayed in the window box. Then down below you've got an image of the character from the movie and the character's name, and then it tells us it comes with a piece for the Steppenwolf Collect and Connect figure. On the side of the packaging you again have an image of the character from the movie and a brief bio in multiple languages. And then on the back of the packaging we have a look at all the figures in the wave that you need to get in order to complete that Steppenwolf Collect and Connect figure. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now first of all, this figure comes with one of the legs for the Steppenwolf Collect and Connect figure, and we'll be taking a look at Steppenwolf in his own review once we've looked at all the figures in this wave, so be sure to check back for that. The figure also comes with his Trident, and this is done with a dark gray, almost metallic type silver color. You've got a little bit of sculpting detail on the end of the handle, and then you've got the points up here at the top. You've got this is a 5-point Trident, and then it's done with a pretty flexible plastic, so it might come out of the packaging a little bit warped, but overall mine's pretty straight. And then he'll hold it in the right hand. He'll only hold it in the right hand because his left hand is closed-fisted, and you will probably have to try and pry back those fingers a little bit to get him to hold it. And then once you get it in the hand, he'll hold it pretty tight. It might slide in there a little bit depending on how much you loosen up the fingers, but overall he does hold the Trident pretty tight. So overall I think they've done a pretty nice job with this one as far as sculpting and paint applications go. I think the head sculpt is pretty decent with this one, and I like the way the hair looks, and you've got some wash effect in the hair, and I also like how he's got the green eyes, and then he's got the full-on beard and mustache, and again you've got some wash effect in that. Skin tone's pretty good. Then for the rest of the outfit, he's wearing the full-on armor with this version, and again I think they've done a pretty nice job with the sculpting detail and the paint application with the gold metallic highlights, and then you've got the darker green colors throughout. So again, I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing the look of the character from the movie, and I do think this is an improvement over the Batman versus Superman version. Better skin tone, and I think even the head sculpt is a little better looking with this new figure. And you've got nice detailing with like the belt, and you've got the little A here for Aquaman, and then with like the elbow pads you've got some nice sculpting detail, and even on the back of the figure I think they've done a good job with the paint applications and the sculpting detail all throughout the figure. So this figure stands just a little bit over 6.5 inches tall, not quite 6 3/4 inches. Here's a comparison with the Batman versus Superman version of Aquaman, and you can see the Justice League one is a hair taller. And here's a comparison with the Justice League movie Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman figures. So for articulation, you can turn the head to the left and to the right. Now he's got these shoulder pads and he's got the long hair, which is done with a rubber type material. So even with that, you can still turn the head pretty good. Really doesn't have much in the way of down movement. Can look up a little bit, but again with the long hair, not too much. Now with these shoulder pads, those are separate pieces that are glued onto the figure, so they don't really limit the movement of the arms. You can still get the arm out good. It does limit a little bit of the rotation, but you can still get the arm rotated all the way around. You've got the bicep swivel, single hinged elbow with this figure, and then you've got the rotation at the wrist, but no hinges on the hands. No ab crunch. You do have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with a ball joint, so a little bit different than the other figures with those side hinges. You can still do the splits good, and you can get the leg forward about that much, and you can do the leg out and back with this one. He does not have a thigh swivel. So with the knee joint, you have a single hinge knee. You can only bend the knee about that much. Now these knee joints, they're done with a very kind of rubber type plastic, and they're actually kind of delicate. I actually ended up snapping the knee off on the left leg here. So I do want to recommend caution when you're working with these knee joints on this figure. They are not very well done. They're not very sturdy. You do have a little bit of rotation. I can't tell if it's meant to rotate or if it's just because it's such a rubber type material they used on the joint. So again, I would recommend caution with that. And then with the feet, you've got the hinges, so you do have up and down movement with the feet, but no rotation and no ankle pivot. And then 2 peg holes on the bottom of it. So that's my review. So overall, I think the sculpting detail and the paint applications on this figure are pretty solid. However, articulation could definitely be better, like with all these Multiverse figures. We could definitely use some double hinged knees and elbows and some ankle pivot. And then with this particular figure, at least with mine, the knee joints were not very well done. They're done with a rubbery type material that seems to break pretty easily. I snapped the knee on the left leg here and I had to glue it back. So again, just be cautious with your figure when you start to bend those knees. Now this figure, along with the rest of the wave, has started to hit shelves. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.